big, real big. Who would ever thought that we were real big? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Real big. All right, gonna shoot a little YouTube video for today, and the topic is about Ja Morant. Now, I'm not here to get to bashing Ja Morant like how everybody else is doing, or I want to shed some light on basically my opinion, my viewpoint on how I look at the situation. So, for those of you who don't know who Ja Morant is, Ja Morant is a professional NBA player for the Memphis Grizzlies. Okay? He recently got in trouble in the media and the news and TV and everything for, I guess, what you would call unsportsmanlike behavior. Basically, there was a video going around of him flashing who knows what in the video, but a lot of people view it as him flashing a gun on camera. Okay? Now, the narrative is a lot of people are bashing Ja Morant, saying you're dumb, you're an idiot, why are you going around these group of guys if you got to carry yourself that way? Now, to Ja Morant's defense, I'm going to go with that side first. Some of y'all, got to understand and know Ja probably grew up around some of these guys that he's hanging with. I'm going to get to the other side, but right now you must understand Ja probably grew up around some of these guys who he's hanging with. So you got to understand and realize the way it goes in certain communities, when you make it successful, when you make it big, when you blow up, that doesn't mean everyone else around you does the same thing. That doesn't mean everyone else changes their mindset or their viewpoint on how they carry themselves. So with that being said, Ja Morant should, one, the narrative should be like he should distance himself, he should get away, he should not be near those group of guys. But let me tell you the flip side of that. I'll give you an example when I was in school. So when I was in school playing college basketball, my coach pulled several guys into the office at one time. It was me and probably four or five other guys. So he's surveying the group of guys that, the group of guys were with, all of us are hanging with each other. There are two kids in particular who he wanted to use a part of his program that actually had some years to play. Like they was freshmen coming into the game. So because they was freshmen, there's more money that they can put into them. There's more time, effort, practice, tuning that they can do. The rest of us were juniors and seniors. The coach asked them, he's like, would you jeopardize or cost your whole career from just one or two bad choices or hanging around the wrong group of guys? Now, us as in the other guys, the older guys, we wasn't into anything crazy. We wasn't doing anything, harmful to nobody. It's just the way we looked and the way we carried ourselves, okay? So going back to the job situation, the way you carry yourself, the way you look, the image and everything like that, you got to be aware, you got to know that this is what it is, this is how they're going to portray you, this is how they're going to twist it up and everything like that. So one, for people that watch these videos, young men, you must understand that once you start getting a little bit of success, you change the way you operate. You change the way you carry yourself. That does not mean that the rest of the guys that you hang with, the rest of the guys that you're kicking it with, have changed the way they go about things. It doesn't mean that. That doesn't mean that at all. Now you have to gauge it and understand, like, okay, the things that we can learn from Ja Morant is that sometimes you have to distance yourself to get away from certain groups of friends. I'll give you an example now. I'm in my own apartment now. I'm in my own space. I'm flowing. I'm doing things the way I'd like to do it. But there was a situation or instance where I had to make a decision on if I was going to stay around the group of guys or was I going to continue to push forward and go towards what I wanted. Now, that same pocket where I had to make a choice, There's going to come a time in every person's life where you're going to have to choose a route. You're going to have to make a choice. Now, right now, Ja Morant, he's going to have to make a choice. Does the image and the character that you want to portray to be a part of certain groups and cliques, are you willing to like change that? See, there are sometimes like people get upset and like and offended that you changing, you just and that. Trust me, I know. There are guys that I used to hang with that say, you act like Braxton, you act like a Carlton now, you kissing ass. Like it's a whole bunch of different things that once you start changing to preserve or to keep the things that you have, you're gonna catch some backlash sometimes. But you gotta also understand the other side. Let me tell you the other side of that. The other side of being around everybody, the other side of trying to kick it with everybody, be cool, be down, do what appeases everyone. It's gonna leave you broke. It's gonna leave you in last place. It's gonna leave you with the. I'm pretty sure a lot of you have heard this. We didn't tell you to make that choice. You chose to make that choice. We didn't tell you to follow us. You chose to follow us. Now I'm not bashing John Morant, but I'm just giving y'all both sides of what happens on either side. You can stay true, stay down, do what you do, kick it with a certain group, but it's like there is also a whole nother world that won't invite you or let you into these spaces because of how you carry yourself, unless you have a outstanding way to image and brand yourself, that way you can kind of get away with a few different things. And these are the things that I learned from being in school playing college sports. Once you get off the court, the things you do off the court, the things you do outside of your business, outside of your brand matters. How you carry yourself, how you talk to others, how you speak. Now, that situation is very tough. The John Morant situation is very, everybody's bashing, you making $100, $200 million in the NBA. Why are you jeopardizing your career for this image or this and that? There comes a time when you're going to have to make a choice. Which road are you going to choose? Which way are you going to go? Which path are you going to choose in order to sustain what you got? Or you can choose a path where you lose everything that you have. Now, the choice is up to you. The choice has always been up to everybody else, but you got to understand and know there are pockets where, one, we must understand, nobody watching this video has ever in their life touched $200 million. Nobody ever in their life watching this video was the leading point guard for one of the top NBA teams in the country. Okay? Me being a former athlete, what comes with certain like roles and characters, especially on a team that's winning, a team that's good, you're in the media every day. There are dozens, millions of outer influences that are starting to come around. So when I was playing college sports, you get media always with you. Not to mention, like, the girls are always going to be there. The girls are all over the place. Friends, everybody's your friend. So you got all these people around you saying everything is okay, everything, the way you carry yourself is cool, everything. So it's like they set you up for the play, and then when you fall, those same people are turning on you like, no, you're wrong. You shouldn't have did this. You shouldn't have did that. But it's easy to point out mistakes once you see what you did wrong. Now, sometimes it's better to learn from other people's mistakes, learn from different things like, they did that and that went wrong. I don't want to do that. They did that and that went wrong. I'm going to stay away from that. So this is just a little advice of you have to really know who you are as a person. You have to stay true to yourself. You have to really, really lock down and hone in on who you are. Figure out like the direction you want to go for your life. You got to figure out pretty much everything that you want to do. And the things that I learned is sometimes keeping certain groups of guys or certain people around you, you can still make it, but it's like extra added pressure and weight sometimes. These people encourage you to do things that they wouldn't do themselves. So when you do take the fall, me and my friend was just talking about this yesterday. Some people want you to take the fall just so they can point the finger and be like, you're dumb. Some people want you to, set the table up and take a fall just because they never tried themselves, or they just hoping that you don't make it. Then you got some people who rooting you on but in secret, they just riding the coattail hoping that you can make it far just so they can climb up with you. They're not really true supporters. Now, the more and more you start getting a little success for yourself, you're going to start catching these different things. This is a very, very important lesson for John Morant. Okay? So after this blows over and after this pass, he's going to do some evaluation of the groups of people he was around. And I'll guarantee he's going to cut some people off. Now, the thing is, once you start making changes to better yourself, once you begin to better yourself, it sometimes, most of the time, it leaves out other people. It doesn't allow them to gain a benefit. So what happens is, that's where all the real feelings on how people felt about you really come out. That's where the true intentions come out, because now you're not favoring them. You're not catering to what they want. So now what happens is the roles, the tables, and everything begin to reverse. These are like a few things that you can learn from the John Morant situation. Now, this isn't what you're going to see on TV, but I'm letting you know behind the scenes different things that can happen, different type of people that you have to be aware of that are in your corner or in your circle. This is for anybody who's watching this video who has some form of success, some form of motion, some form of influence out there in your community, where you must understand that these choices that you make do matter. That's just plain and simple. The choices that we make do matter.